Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the wonderful new Pyregheists. Yes, the new Warcry warband for the Nighthaunt. Games Workshop very kindly sent me early as part of the Pyre Flood box set, and we're going to be painting them up today. So a massive thank you to them for doing that, and we have a little bit of admin before we get started. So we obviously have three different kinds of ghosties here. We have these ones, and this basically a character going on in the middle here. So we're going to be doing all three individually, which will make sense as we go because they are quite different, but they should be reasonably quick as well. So they've all been primed in white Scar, and we're going to grab our paints, grab our brushes, and be right back. So we're going to kick things off with the torch wraiths. These are three of these in the box, and there's these little ones here. You can identify them by them having these kind of fireballs shooting out of them. And the colour we're going to be using first is some Briar Queen Chill. And we're going to be applying this over the top of the kind of insides of the ghosts. So they're divided into two halves. You've got the kind of white shawl over the top, and you've then got these kind of inner sections of the torch race, like this sort of thing. However, what we're also going to do at this point is we're going to do all of that, then we're going to wash the brush, and then towards the ends of the inner parts of the ghosts, we're going to blend it out into the white that we've just covered it over. And you want to just go for like the tips of those inner sections, just like that sort of thing, and then continue. So for example, on the back here, we won't need to do that because it doesn't kind of trail off or anything. With that Briar Queen Chill applied, we're then going to take Nuln Oil, and we're going to apply this over the top of the rest of the shawl. So basically the rest of the ghostiness, excluding the arms and the skull. With all that Nuln Oil applied, we're then going to take Drakenhof Nightshade, and we're going to apply this over the top of the arms and the skull. So with that then done, we're going to work on probably the most obvious part, which is going to be all of the flames. Now we're going to be using three colours for this, but not always at all times. I'll explain what I mean by that. So the three colours we're going to be using are Bad Moon Yellow, Striking Scorpion Green, and Terradon Turquoise. And we're going to be doing a bit of blending on the miniature, of course. So we're going to start with Bad Moon Yellow, and I'm just going to go for this large flame on the head. Now we're going to apply the Bad Moon Yellow all over the top. Just like this. I'm going to do the back as well. Just making sure we got it over the top of all of it. There we go. Then we're going to wash the brush. Touch off the water. And then we're going to grab Striking Scorpion Green. And we're going to go in there whilst it's still wet. And apply this to those flames. Over, well, pretty much most of it. Like so. And then we're going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and grab some Terradon Turquoise. And then towards the top, we're going to apply the Terradon Turquoise, like this. Again, doing both front and back. Like that. Wash the brush one more time. And grab a little bit of Bad Moon Yellow. And then just use this to smooth out the transitions. Just like that. Now we're going to do that exact same process over the top of any large flames. However, for the slightly smaller flames, like the ones on the shoulders and stuff, you can just go in and use Striking Scorpion Green on its own. Like that. However, if you want to add a little bit of extra visual variation, you can then wash the brush, touch off the water, and then just grab a little bit of Terradon Turquoise and apply this to the tips of those flames. Like so. The same deal goes for the two fireballs in this case. We're going to start with Bad Moon Yellow, apply them all over the top. Like so. Then we're going to wash the brush and grab that Striking Scorpion Green and apply this like so. Over the top. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this over the top of the wood on their backs. So with that done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over the top of the metallics. Now, I'm not going to apply this over the top of the pommel or the crossguard of the dagger. We are going to apply this over the top of the trim at the top of the grave marker they're carrying on their backs. And so with that done, we're then going to take some Balthasar Gold. We're going to apply this over the crossguard and the pommel of the dagger. With that Balthasar Gold now applied, what we're going to do is going to take some Black Templar. And over the top of these two kind of meteorite-y things, well, fireballs, what we're going to do is we're going to apply this. And what we want to do is we'll start towards the base, and then just as consistently as possible, in basically one brush stroke, just apply the Black Templar, like that. We're looking to just add a little bit of black to the green, like so. And then you'll see these little rocks, which we also want to apply the Black Templar over. Being a little bit more targeted. Like so. So with that now done, we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to use this to shade both of our metallics. Like that. But what we're also going to do is we're going to use this now to colour in the ropes. With that Agrax Earthshade applied, we've got then one more thing left to do to make it up to a Warhipster battle ready, and that's to take some Gryph-Charger Grey. We want to apply this over the top of this kind of top section of the ghost, like that. Wash the brush, touch off the water, and then just blend it in like that. So with that all done, our Torch Wraith is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. It's looking pretty good. However, we're now going to move on to the Pyre Guard and Flame Wraiths, I think they're called. The black cowled Nighthaunt ghost, the more traditional looking Nighthaunt ghost, shall we say, in the box. So we're going to be painting up all of them now, and we're going to get them up to the same stage, Warhipster battle ready, and then we will move on to the final one. So first colour we're going to be using is once again going to be Briar Queen Chill, and we're going to be applying this over the top of the entirety of the kind of inner side or inner parts of the ghost. This is delineated by the two different layers of what normally would be a cloth, but it's not a cloth because it's a ghost. With that Briar Queen Chill applied, we're then going to take Terradon Turquoise and we're going to apply this over the top of the other part of the ghostliness. This is going to be the black cowl. with that Terradon Turquoise all applied. But then going to take some Black Templar, and we're going to apply this over the top of it. So with that Black Templar all applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts Lahmian Medium to 1 part Terradon Turquoise mix. I'm going to use this to do some blending on this stuff, the lower trails. So what we're going to do is we're going to start applying this from up there. I'm going to bring this all the way down the trails. Like that. Then we're going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and then we're just going to kind of wipe it off. Towards the tips of the ghosty bits. Just whilst we're waiting for that Terradon Turquoise to dry, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Poxwalker. I'm going to apply this over the top of the skull and the arms. So with that then done, what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 2 parts Lahmian Medium to 1 part Black Templar mix. I'm going to do much the same thing as we've just done over the ghostly bits. So I'm going to start just up here. I'm going to bring it down like that. We're not going to go over the whole thing though. Then we're going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and then we're going to once again give it the blends. Like so. So with that Black Templar all applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Striking Scorpion Green, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the flames. And we don't need to do any of the blending or anything like this because it's already quite dark, so there's a lot going on here. So if we just use these, it adds a real shock of that lovely green. However, if you do want to add some of the yellow and the Terradon Turquoise and things like that in here, you absolutely can do. The choice is yours. And next up, we're going to once again use some Wyldwood for the wood of the haft of the axe. And next up, we're then going to once again take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over top of all of the metallics. There's going to be a bit of trim going on, but just for now, I'm going to apply this over the top of all of them. Once all that Iron Warriors is dry, we're then going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur. I'm going to apply this over the top of the chainmail. Just like this. And with that Gore-Grunta Fur applied, we're then going to take, once again, some Balthasar Gold. And we're going to apply this over the top of any trim or decoration. With that Balthasar Gold now applied, it's time to add some shades. And the first of which is going to be some Drakenhof Nightshade. And we're going to use this over the top of the black. Well, let me say that again. We're going to use this over the top of the entirety of the ghost, excluding the arms and the skull. And the armour and stuff like that. So we're going to go over the top of all the black and all the blended Briar Queen Chill spirity bits. As I said, not over the top of the skull or the arms. That Drakenhof Nightshade all applied, it's still drying at the moment, but that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to use this to shade all of our remaining silver, not the mail that we've done with the Gore-Grunta Fur, but all the remaining silver and all the Balthasar Gold. So with that all done, he's now at what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. So we're going to put him to one side and we're now going to work on the Deacon of Flame. Now he looks a lot more complicated than the others, but he's not. In fact, a lot of what we've just done will also be applicable here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out by taking some Briar Queen Chill. And we're going to be applying this over the top of his inner ghostiness. So he's got a shawl, just like the others. And you're applying this like this. And then like with the torch wraiths, what we're going to do is going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and then we're going to blend the Briar Queen Chill off and into the original white of the base coat. Like that. So with that done, we're just going to leave it to dry for the moment, but what we are going to do is going to take Cygor Brown and we're going to apply this over the top of the shawl. With all that Cygor Brown applied, we're then going to take Poxwalker. We're going to apply this over top of his arms and his skull. But what we're also going to do, slightly differently here, is we're going to apply the Poxwalker over the top of the tortured spirit that's being lifted out of a corpse. Starting up here. That Poxwalker all applied, we're then going to take Black Templar. And we're going to apply this over top of the hair of our Deacon. Like that sort of thing. However, on the Cygor Brown shawl, what we're going to do, picking a place to start this, we'll start it just here. So we're going to start from the bottom, and we're going to apply it coming up, like that sort of thing. Wash the brush, and then blend it into the brown. So it's kind of a reverse to what we've been doing. We've been going down a lot. But in this case, we want to go up this time. With all that Black Templar applied, we're then going to take some Wyldwood. I'm going to apply this over top of the wood on the stuff. So with that now done, what we're going to do is take 3 colours. Bad Moon Yellow, Striking Scorpion Green, and Black Templar. I'm going to be applying this over the top of the spirit and the fire out of the torch, but again, slightly differently each time. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking Bad Moon Yellow. We're going to apply this over the top, like this, of our shrieking, howling ghost. We're going to bring this down, like so. Bring it around the back. Just like this sort of thing. And then, once that's done, wash the brush, grab that Striking Scorpion Green, and then I'm going to apply this over the top. Like that sort of thing. Wash the brush one more time. And then we're going to use Black Templar. And we're going to apply this over the top of the body down here, We're going to bring this up into the green and yellow as well. Just like that sort of thing. I'm going to wash the brush between each interval. Don't want to contaminate the Black Templar. Like that. Then we can use just a bit of Bad Moon Yellow to ensure that these two colours blend together, or three colours rather. Just like that. Now, as I mentioned, slightly different for the torch. We're just going to take Striking Scorpion Green. So with that all done, what we're next going to do is take a little bit of Blood Angel's Red, and we're going to apply this over the top of the dark scales on the corpse. I guess it's not dark scales, is it? It's burnt stuff, burnt flesh. Just like that sort of thing. We're also going to apply this like this into the black on the actual flame. Wash the brush, touch off the water, and then just blend it in. Just adding a hint of like a sort of pinky orange in there, like that sort of thing. But additionally, what we're also going to do with the Blood Angel's Red, we're going to apply some of this over the top of the Cygor Brown up here. Coming down into the black. And with that then done, we're going to once again take some thinned down Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over top of most of the metallics. And going for things like the armour and the haft of the brassiere that he carries. What we're not going to do is apply this over the top of the contraptions within the brassiere. So here and here. But we are going to be going over the top of this kind of trimmy stuff. Like that. And so with all that Iron Warriors applied, we're then going to take, once again, some thinned down Balthasar Gold. I'm going to apply this over top of our remaining details. And so with that now done, it's time to add some shades to our Deacon of Flame. And we're going to start with Gryph-Charger Grey. And we're going to be applying this over the top of the spirity bits, just like we did on the Torch Wraith. However, we're once again going to wash the brush, touch off the water, and then just give it a little bit of a blendy blend. Just add a little bit more depth to the spirity bits. And so with that then done, we take some Nuln Oil. I'm going to apply this over the top of the black areas and the back of the shawl. So the black areas are going to be these blended bits, but also his hair. And so with that then done, we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to use this to shade the metallics. So with that done, all three kinds of our Nighthaunt in this box are now at what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. However, we are not going to leave them there. Of course not, no. We're going to take them to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. Now, we're going to go back to the beginning and we're going to start on the Torch Wraith just here. And the colour we're going to be using first is some thinned down Corax White. And we're going to be using this as a relayer over the top of the Nuln Oil shawl or shroud. I can't remember what I've been calling it. Anyway, as you'll recall, way back at the beginning of this video, we did this entire top bit with just Nuln Oil. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fully relayer it with the Corax White, just avoiding any of the darkest recesses. So with that Corax White applied over the Torch Wraith, what we're then going to do on both of these is we're going to take some thinned down white scar. And we're going to use this over the top of, all of the Torch Wraith, including the arms and things, but over here on our Deacon of Flame, we're only going to use this on the ghosty bits here, which are similar to the Torch Wraith. So, we're going to take that thinned down white scar, and we're going to just pick a place to start. We'll start just under here. So with that now done, uniquely to the Torch Wraith, what we're going to do is going to take some Tesseract Glow and we're going to apply this over the top of their fireballs. With that Tesseract Glow all applied, we're then, across all three of our models, we're going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. And with that Ironbreaker all applied, we're now actually going to finish off the Torch Wraith, but also do some highlights on the other ones, by taking some thinned down Runelord Brass. I'm going to use this to highlight the Balthasar Gold. Just like that. So now that the torch race are done, it's time to, well, work on these two. Even though we've been working on them all along. Anyway, next colour we're going to be using is some thinned down Kabalite Green. I'm going to be using this to highlight the cowl or shawl of our ghosty. And we're also going to do this over those bits that we blended the black into on our other model. The Baron, no, what's he called? Deacon. Deacon of Flame. With that Kabalite Green all applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Sybarite Green. I'm going to use this to add some little spot highlights to all of that Kabalite Green. Like that sort of thing. But what we're also going to do on this individual is we're going to use this to add couple of little highlights to the strands of the fire. Just like that sort of thing. Not too many. And so finally, there's only one thing left to do, which is to take some thinned down Administratum Grey. I'm going to use this to highlight the hair of our Deacon. Of course, with the bases now complete, our Pyregheists are now finished, ready to take the field in Warcry, Pyre and Flood, opposite the Ydrilan Riverblades, which are coming very, very soon for you as well. I really enjoyed this. Nighthaunt are always fun to paint. They're a little bit tricky, or they can be really simple. And there's kind of a blend of the two going on here, which is really fun. I like it. It's a really nice varied unit. They're really cool. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.